Welcome, everybody, to the Colorado Israel COIL 2025 Goals and Vision discussion. I'm here, Jordan Kostrinsky, the Israel director and co-founder of the Colorado Israel Chamber of Commerce that we call lovingly COIL. And I'm joined today with Jeremiah Barenberg, Colorado director, and also a co-founder of the Chamber of Commerce. And what we are here to talk about today is our goals and our mission and what we've learned and the lessons we've taken from our first year of activity, and now moving forward, what we intend to do and how we intend to improve our engagement with the community in Colorado and in Israel, and how we also intend to accomplish certain activities and goals this upcoming year. So we're going to get into it, and we wanted to share this with you because, hey, this is not always something that you're able to do with everyone. We only have so many hours in a day, so many places to be. We're spread across an ocean on two different continents. I'm based in Tel Aviv. Jeremiah is based in Colorado. And so this is our opportunity to kind of share our vision and our beliefs of the chamber with the rest of the world. So, Jeremiah, what do you say? Let's get started.
Let's do it.
All right, cool. So I wanted to ask you, as the Colorado director, what makes Colorado such a strong partner for Israel?
Well, that's a great question, Jordan. And that's really the whole reason why we started the Colorado Israel Chamber of Commerce because we love Colorado. We're both from here, and you live in Israel, and I live in Colorado now again after years being away. But we saw that other states have similar type of organizations, and Colorado didn't have one. But we know what's great about Colorado, and we know the lifestyle. But we also know the business environment. We understand the different industry sectors that are doing so well here. You're reading about them in the paper every day, everything from quantum to aerospace to cyber to energy. So there's just so many, let's say, synergies between Colorado and Israel. There's
Right.
also, we've talked about it a lot on a lot of our calls with folks across Colorado, the sort of the culture of entrepreneurship, the culture of innovation. So I think those make it a great match for Israel. And you can talk so much more about how those same characteristics apply to Israel.
Yeah, and I totally agree, honestly. Like, I think Israel, in many ways, is a natural partner for Colorado based on kind of similar challenges and similar industries that are really big there. So, obviously, I think it's pretty natural. And when I speak to Israelis too, they understand it. Now, what Israelis are obviously often looking for is what opportunities does Colorado act as an ecosystem for, growth and expansion into the U.S. Markets. And it offers quite a bit, and that's what we have to kind of work on explaining, whether it's logistical connection to the rest of the country and even Latin America, being, in between several time zones, to actual, grants like the Advanced Industries grants and certain tax credits that the state offers to actually, get businesses in Colorado. So we obviously go into that a lot as well.
Yeah, and I'll just say that, we know that Israelis are always looking to export abroad. They've got to look outside of the country, and they always look at other places across the U.S., the East Coast, the West Coast, Florida, but we want them to look at Colorado, and they should, and they will. So
100%.
let me take the next question and put to you. We worked pretty hard this past year, 2024, to set ourselves up for the coming years. So, what achievements from 2024 do you think best set the stage for Coil's growth in 2025?
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I think, and in total transparency, was probably our big event was really our launch event. Now, it's funny because our launch event wasn't really our launch event. It was like a year into activity and then a launch, right? So, we really got started in January 2024, which could have been the best or worst time to get started, but that's when we really started our official launch. We had, first we were part of supporting the delegation of water companies along with the Israel Economic Mission in February to Colorado. And then subsequently, we were involved in a panel bringing in out of town guests from Israel, talking about resilience in the ecosystem in Denver Startup Week. And we had two biotech companies actually exhibit at Denver Startup Week. And so those were obviously great things and were big. And during that time too, also meeting different industry partners, getting consulted by different industry partners, establishing the group officially, and then obviously, getting in Israel deal flow from the other side of people interested in moving were big things. But the launch party, I think, set us up for something big because it really inspired me. I'll tell you the truth.
Yeah.
When we set it up, I mean, you know this well, we were thinking, okay, if we get, we were told the space can hold 150 people. And we were told, and we thought, if we get half of that amount, that'd be great. You know what I mean? That would be a fantastic event. And at the end, we ended up getting more reservations than even the space allowed. And we had, quite an amazing attendance. And we had people also, and one of the things that people kept mentioning to me was that it was people from all different sectors. Like people didn't know
Yeah,
everything. And so
that's
to
right.
me, that made it sound like, okay, we're actually into something that can bring a lot of different people and communities and interests together. And that's good because the more collaboration, the better for business ecosystems, no matter where you are. So for me, that kind of set the stage for growth because now I realize that we do have a critical mass that's interested in content and events that we put on and are also interested in actual business opportunities in both ecosystems.
Right. Well said. Yeah, and I'll just add, we obviously had those great messages from Governor Polis and the Consul General of Israel from LA. And so I think that just showed, another example of how we've done the work to interact with these different stakeholders who want to see this succeed.
Yeah, I mean, in that sense, I throw it back at you. Like, what lessons, from this year do you feel will, inform Colorado Israel's approach?
Well, I think that's the right question because we've really done sort of our due diligence. People ask us like, what's the reaction when you tell people about Colorado Israel? You asked that same question to someone we talked to at a big corporate law firm yesterday, and we're hearing just all kinds of excitement for and energy for the initiative. The lessons I think are sort of from the conversations we've had with, whether it's the economic development organizations or the chambers of commerce or companies themselves who are looking for Israeli technology. And same thing on the Israeli side. They're thinking about where they should expand in the U.S. Should it be Colorado? Should it be Florida? Should it be Texas? And we understand, the Colorado ecosystem here. We have to understand their needs. And so I think what's guiding our approach for 2025 is understanding what's sort of hot in Colorado right now and trying to connect that to what's really emerging in Israel. And we're finding those counterparts in cyber and quantum and in even construction and engineering. And so it's kind of finding those connections and then knowing how to kind of connect those people in both ecosystems. But a lot of that's the work sort of behind the scenes. I think what we're also learning is that people want community. They want to feel connected. We got that interest from the volunteer mentors to help communities in the south of Israel, improve their business processes and export strategies. We're hearing interest in people in starting a WhatsApp group focusing on business to business between Colorado and Israel, empowering the community to really connect each other. So I think that's what we're hearing. We're hearing a lot of interest in learning more about the great technology that's coming out of Israel and also what's really what's really developing in Colorado. So I think that's what understanding that will sort of guide our approach to 2025.
For sure.
Turning back to you, what we've talked to a lot of those different sectors in Israel and in Colorado, but what do you think are going to be our priorities for 2025 in terms of new sectors and new initiatives?
Well, we started out this year focused on, water and ag, aerospace, energy, and biotech were our kind of main focuses. And to be honest, I will say that there's likely to be a similar focus in 2025, simply because these industries are big areas of interest right now in Colorado. They're also big industries in Colorado, especially, aerospace, water, and ag. These are big things here. But beyond that, like I think there's also a role that Israel can play in that with the amount of technologies that are coming out of the ecosystem specifically based in those industries. So I'd like to focus there. But beyond that, Colorado is also poised to be in some really interesting positions in the future, especially when it comes to the whole quantum race, which, is a little bit overshadowed at the moment with AI. but is nonetheless something that's going to very drastically change the technological landscape. And Colorado is set between, organizations like Elevate Quantum and other, opportunities that they've gotten to actually be the center of that. So we're actively looking into how to connect between both ecosystems because it's early and young, and it's something that could really be great. And Israel is also a leader in the field right now, so that is good.
Well
You
said.
know, Jeremiah, I would ask you too, what is the key message that you would want Colorado Israel um, to kind of have businesses remember? And what I mean by that is, kind of what would it be that, businesses in Colorado should understand in getting involved with Coil?
Um, no, it's a great question because you know, when we started this, we had it was sort of it's a passion project for both of us, but it's also a business initiative because we never really started it with an eye of just sort of being another nonprofit, which we are, but we really felt that because of our business backgrounds, we were well poised to kind of promote the business side of things. And we really are a business organization for the whole state of Colorado and for all of Israel. So I think what I would want, the sort of key takeaway for people listening here and for, the community to understand about what we're doing is that, we are here to facilitate cross-border transactions and business, trade, commerce. I mean, the Colorado Israel Chamber of Commerce. So we are really here to help facilitate those transactions, to make those connections, to open those doors, to allow community members to walk through those doors. And to have that, lead into opportunities for downstream, even professional service firms that are looking to build their own business development objectives. But really, the main takeaway here, though, is that even though we're doing a lot of this work behind the scenes, and people maybe don't know about it until we have sort of some public facing event, and we're going to build more of those programs so people feel that they're involved and can be part of the chamber. I'm a member of other chambers of commerce here in Colorado, but it's only because I get something valuable out of it. Um, so, but we cannot do any of that obviously without the community support. And by community, I think you and I have learned we mean that across the board. That's, from state and local government actors at partnering with us to NGOs to the industry associations and to community members themselves becoming members, but volunteering their time, but also benefiting from being involved. So I think it is about building support and involvement from the community. And doing this as a partnership because it is a community, it's a chamber, it's an organization.
100%, I agree.
Um, and turning back to you, I think maybe to sort of close out a lot of this discussion is what do you think is sort of the long-term vision for Coil and how does this coming year, because that's what this conversation is about, how does this coming year fit into that long-term vision? Because from the beginning, we wanted to build this organization as a sustained initiative that has a long-term possibilities. So what is that vision?
Yeah, I think the long-term vision is to have COIL be a real operative body when it comes to actually helping grow the relationship between Israel and Colorado. And specifically, in sharing innovations and in trade. And I think it's totally possible. And I think it's actually just a matter of time and patience and perseverance to get there. The goal, I think, in 2025 now is, as I like to say, last year was kind of our establishing year, seeing if people were even interested, if we could get this off the ground, if there was room for it, how was the climate for it, and we've seen that it's positive. And now this year is the growth year, and I want to make sure that we're growing, and we're going to measure the success this year based on some of the projects that we've started moving in 2024 to now see them come to fruition in 2025, whether that be with groups like the Innovation Authority in Israel, and venture studio groups that we're talking with, and other institutions in Colorado who are interested in also cross-border transactions and technological sharing and seeing how we can make those real. And then on another note, it's also kind of seeing how much more exposure we do get in the ecosystem to actually get the companies that want to come to us and talk to us about, either sourcing innovations and technology out of Israel, or interested in exploring the Israeli ecosystem for its innovation and so on, and vice versa from Israeli companies actually interested in expanding through Colorado. So, this is what we're really looking forward to do, and this is really the goal of this upcoming year. And beyond that, also offering to the community, probably monthly events at a level of true monthly events where you can learn about Israel, or you can be connected to the ecosystem.